Hello everybody, welcome back. We are once again at the property formerly known as the Alligator Bar, and the sun is going down, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. And I've just realized I did change that window, which was still bright green, so yay. But I think we need to not sell. Please don't sell. I think I'm going to change these. Actually, you know what? Let's go to a bronze. I think that would look quite nice. There we go. Not as in your face. And I have no idea where the light switch is. Would that be for out here? No, it wouldn't. Okay, let's connect it then. That's not connected to anything, so let's connect it here. Then we have some light outside. Actually, you know what? Let's connect that one as well. And that one. We have light. Yay. And a very bright sun out there. Okay, so I knew the bar needed a lot of assistance. Oh, I put some chairs in here. These are just cushions. So I put a couple in here so people could chill. And we've got all the gaming stuff. We can't do anything with it. We can't light them up or have anything happening here, which is unfortunate. So none of the buttons actually work. But it is what it is. So what I've done in here is I have chosen this wallpaper. I think it's pretty cool. And from a distance, if you look at it, it's very busy, but it sort of blends with the colors that we're working with. And the bar needed a lot of help. So I've taken it away from where I stuck it in the corner here, because really, why would you put a bar in the corner? And I've put it right in the center of the room, which I think is cool. And I put a little bit, just a little bit of light at the bottom there. And I have one light here. So what we're going to do, I think, is we need probably a TV for the wall, or two. How big are these? Should we go really big, or should we go sort of semi-big? Because, yeah, how high can I get them before they go funky? Okay, that will do. Maybe put one there. And one there. So we actually have, I quite like that. It actually reflects. Wow. If only we had mirrors like that. We have hot sauce on the bar. There'll be a couple of other odds and ends, but we have TVs. Now we need some sound. Entertainment. We have speakers. What sort of speakers do we want? Let's see what these look like in a darker wood. Will they sit on the wall? Yes, they will. We can put them in all the corners. We can have some sounds, some whatever. Music. I'm not sure what we're going to be having in this bar, but There we go. We can have some sounds, and then we need some tables. Now once again, I'm thinking of small tops. We don't need anything too big. So maybe these. Let's see what these look like. Yeah, these will work because you can have a couple here maybe. And I finally put fencing around so that it wouldn't look so bare. Now I would like to put some of these lights in, but I have a feeling that they are going to be too long, because if I walk here, I walk into the light. So we're probably going to have to just stick with something fairly simple. Now the question would be, do we just want a couple of small tables, or do we want a long booth at the back? We don't really have sorry, I'm half talking and then I stop. These are very small. They don't really work with what I'm looking for. So maybe we just carry on with the little tables. What do you say? We can maybe have 2 there, a 4 there. Should we have a TV on the wall here at the back? Or is that enough? I think that'll be enough. If you want to get away from the actual TV, you can come sit in the corner here. Okay, and then let's find us some basic chairs, but something comfy. When you come to the bar, you want to actually be able to chill. So maybe these? No. Where's the other one? That's what I'm thinking of. How about something like that? Why do they look so tiny? I have no idea. Unfortunately, the walls aren't very tall, so we can't really put like big posters or anything like that. But we can put in a couple of, let's get this one in here. We have quite a, well, not quite a few. We've got a couple of drinks posters for the walls. We're just going to have to open up the pictures, which are always a challenge. Okay, I'd say there's more than enough chairs to keep everybody in the neighborhood happy here. What do you say? block anybody from walking through? No. Yeah, I think that'll work. We have the TVs on. We've got a sort of an atmosphere in here which I'm happy with. We can't put, well, I suppose we could put a couple of these lights over the tables, except we have, yeah, maybe not. Let's sell that light right there, and let's see how dark it is in the corner. I think that'll be okay. It gives you a little bit of ambience. Let's now go and do the hard thing, which is finding posters or pictures. Should we frame them? Yeah, let's frame them. But now we've got to go find my custom pictures. So you're going to have to bear with me, yeah? Okay, so we've got, I think we've got a couple of drinks still here. We've got that, which we can probably stick on a wall somewhere. That's huge. Yeah, let's make that slightly smaller, don't you agree? There we go. Nice, refreshing beer. And then we've got some cocktails, I think. We've also got the, oh, that's honey. Where is it? We got this one. I can sit on the bar itself, which is awesome. And we've got coffee, but we've got, why do I keep going to the honey? Because it looks like a drink. That is a drink. That is a martini or something. So we'll add that one somewhere. And then we can always do coffee. Obviously that would be breakfast. Let's do another one of those beers if we can't. Oh, we've got cocktails. Look, here we go. Looks like a nice summer drink. If we need to, we will duplicate a few. There is the honey again. I did toss quite a few after I was done with the build, so we don't have as many as we did have at one stage, but we can duplicate a few. There's a few there. There's a few there, and maybe one on the wall here. Let's do the martini again. Okay, so that's looking pretty good all around. I'm not going to place something on every table because that's just a pain. But for the bartender, we do need a couple of odds and ends and accessories. So I think he needs a board. He needs a blender. And let's give him a chopping board. Perhaps over here. And a nice sharp knife so he can cut his lemons or limes. We don't have limes, so we'll just have to go for lemons. There we go. In fact, is it here that we've got the orange slices? I don't think so. But we'll put a perfectly regular drink over here. There's the orange slice. Now, it's not exactly a lemon, but you know, it'll work. Alright, we need a glass or two. Let's get a Pilsner glass. And what have we got here? Do we have martinis? Probably not. But we can use that as the short glass, and then we need a large bottle of something interesting to put in the Pilsner glass. So let's see what we've got here. There we go. That's the one. Actually, you know what? Let's do a... There we go. Nice clean bar for now. Nobody's in. Bar is closed. But we do need a cloth. So let us find our... There it is. Just pop the cloth over here because he's gonna need it at some stage. I do wish in a way we had the taps for the beers, but we don't. But I think that's not a bad little bar. Now, as you can see, it's pitch dark outside and we have no lights in this room whatsoever. So I know we have a light switch there, so we are going to have to put some lights in here. Now, what do we have that's fun and interesting and fairly cool? Why don't we do something like this? We can do the bronze. How about that? We need one there. Seeing as we don't actually have a roof, sorry, a ceiling, will probably be a good idea. Let's see if that's enough. And let's turn that on so we can see as we go. Yeah, that'll work. Now this room is a little complicated because it's got a lot of windows and a gap under the stairs here. But I think this is going to be a perfect place to put the piano. Oh yeah. You know, I love the stool, but my behind always gets really sore when I see it. Because, you know, that would hurt. I think that instead, what do you say? I feel for the guy. Awesome. And we do have a light here, but we can always put a light on the piano. I keep on picturing pictures of lights and then it doesn't work. This one will do. Yeah, that just lights the area down there. Gives the guy a bit of a chance to see what the heck he's playing. And we can put some chairs around here for all the people who want to just come and listen. Do I need that? I don't think so. Okay. If we need it, we'll come back and get it again. I would like to put windowsills on these windows. And I think that needs to change. Don't you agree? Oh, that's green. There we go. Alright, let's copy that onto that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Now we've got a door here, which is a pain, but we can probably put a couple of sofas in here, or chairs. We need something fairly small that's not going to just block everywhere. These are new ones, which are quite cute, but I like these. These make me relatively happy, so let's play with these. Maybe just take the... It was right there in front of me. Take these down. That should do. And then we can have two here. And then you can always come and have a cup of coffee or a drink or whatever. And listen to the music. Keep forgetting the windowsills always irritate. Okay, and a small table. Something not too chunky. That's too big. How big is this? It's not too bad. And it works with the furniture. Can we get past? Yes, we can. Awesome. We need a table next to you. Meeny, 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 miny. Let's do this one. There we go. And we can do a standing light. one will match what we've put on the piano, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's fairly dim, so I would prefer maybe this, something simple. Let's wire that into the, there we go. That's quite cozy and quite cute. And I would like to continue that across, but I'm not going to, because otherwise it'll look weird, because that's where the wall pops out. Feels like something's missing there, but I'm not going to go there for it. I think that's cute. Now we just need either pictures or flowers or both. So let's maybe go with something a little bit more shiny. And no, we're not going to put sweeties. We might even put some landscapes on the wall. We've got some new ones here. And we actually have a wall to put it on, so yay. That's quite nice. And what can we put on the other side? Works. We've got windows all along here, so we don't really have to worry about pictures, but we can do plants. And yes, next time we are going out into the wild out there, and we're gonna plant the garden. We're gonna have fun with the garden. Actually, wouldn't mind using these planters. These are cute. And they've got the wood, so I want to plant there. And probably under here, if I can get something that will go there. Alright, so let's find a short one. I'm thinking of the fern. These ones. But that will be quite perfect. It sits under the stairs really nicely. Yes. And then we want something tall. I would aim for the sunflowers first shot, but let's maybe do the ficus, seeing as it's new. Yeah, that'll work. And I mean, if the parents want their kids, just leave their kids there, come and chill, or go upstairs and watch TV, listen to the piano, or whatever. I think that's cool. Do we want a carpet in here? I suppose we should. And we are going to have to just use a real carpet and not a let's just see how big this is. That might work actually. That's quite cute. Haven't used round carpets much these days because You can't really make them into what you want them to be. Okay, no fringe. Take the fringe away. Okay, the base is going to be, we've got this really busy, where is it? Maybe that? Or should we bring some flowers back? Bring the flowers back, bring the flowers back. Okay, let's go down one. Let's see what that looks like. That's not bad. That blends, we just need to change that. And it's not too in your face. So I can live with that. And should we put a long one here? Nah, we'll just leave that carpet there. But we can perhaps, we need a tray. The trays are way down here. Let's use this tray and we can put a, okay, the choice would be a couple of bottles of something to drink or a cup of tea. A cup of tea would look prettier, wouldn't it? A cup of coffee would look even better. There's our custom mug. Yeah, let's put a picture on our mug. That is very cute, actually. What the heck? Couple of, damn it. Couple of fun images. The only thing I'm sad about is that it doesn't go all the way around. So there is that. We can use the sugar bowl. That'll work. Should we have some? Should we have a snack? I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast. I feel like food. Let's have some sandwiches. There we go. Drinking some coffee, listening to the dude play the piano, or the music from upstairs. The only thing we haven't done up here now is the bathroom. Now, I don't think we're going to use this again. This is carpet that I used on the floor there. But this place needs some help. This place desperately needs some help. I'm okay with the floor. I've changed the color of the doors. And I've painted the ceilings. Are there no lights? Yes, there are lights in here. Where do you go? Where? Oh, okay. fine. I'll just bring you in here. It's one way to figure out where everything goes. Pop that in there. Alright, we've got these lights. I'm thinking of just doing, let's make some space in here. I'm thinking of not doing too much in here. And then just changing the wallpaper. That works. Sorry, I'm doing this slowly, but I don't want to go over anything. Damn it. Have we got enough? Maybe. How many windows are there in this place? Damn. Okay. We need to copy that onto that one. Thank you. So many green windows. Okay. That looks very intense, but it looks okay. We are going to run out of wallpaper if we're not careful. That is just a little scary when you see the shadow of the door there. That's okay. Alright, so that is just replacing what we have here. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I can also live with changing. Thank you, but no. Can you please close? Thank you. I'm going for plain white. You know me, I'm boring. And then maybe just take that down to that, and it immediately looks better. Yes, I can live with that. Then we have these, which we can keep them, but I would like to change these, and I am thinking we just go with the straight red from the wallpaper. I like that. Yes. Oh my goodness. I would like something fairly simple. That will work. That will also work. If we could center it, it would be even better. That's better. Alright, now you, my friend, are going to change. No, let's go for the light driftwood. And the bronze. That'll work. And that didn't take too much pain from my heart and soul. All right, let's change you as well and just take you down to a cream. And I think the bathroom, ooh, hold on. Is almost done. Is that it's the reflections. I thought that was like a peach, but it's not. Okay, I would like another light. Damn it, I would like another light fitting in here. Did you see that? It was leopard. Just a small light fitting, but maybe we can do the... Let's duplicate that and pop it there. That's better, because otherwise it's just too dark in here. Those are quite low, but if I make that lower, I'm going to probably hit my head on it. So I'll take that. Considering, yes, that works, and I'll take it. So now we're going to sell that and that and put in some stuff in here. We need all the good stuff for the bathroom. We need toilet roll holders. We've got towels. I think I'm going to go with this, but we'll go with the bronze. What do you say? And toilet brush. We can use this. We can probably use the base color for the walls. Why is that toilet off center? One is 2. That's why. That's irritating. That one will be the same problem. Okay, we need toilet rolls. We would like a bin, and do we want a changing mat here? We've got one downstairs. I don't think so. I think the changing mat is more for the kids downstairs. We've got soap, we've got a hand dryer, and we have towels. So let's do the hand soap as well. Is that, no, that one. There we go. We have a fully kitted bathroom now. We can get rid of that. I'm going to sell as I go. I think this is looking cool. We have kept some of the old. We have no more things to get rid of down there. This actually looks quite cool as well. Should we put some plants in here? Wouldn't mind putting some creeping stuff. Why am I in there? We've got it on the outside, so we might as well put some of this stuff. If we go for the red, we can sort of put it here and there. It's a little weird, but then so is this place. I'd like to put you on the other side. Thank you. I'm walking into chairs. Yeah, it just picks up the light, if you see that, which I like. So, bar, piano bar, haha, gaming area, breakfast, well, cafe. Have we done the toilets? The toilet, yes, this is the one with the changing table, so we good here. Let's start getting rid of all the stuff that's lying around. That is done. That is going. The kitchen is looking pretty cool. All the pies and cakes and tarts and coffee and burgers and all the syrups for the milkshakes. Okay, then we have here, which is very cute, and the mugs upstairs have got pictures of these pictures on them. What is that? It's flooring. We don't need that anymore. Okay. And I think it is still a bit dark outside, so we are going to have to, oh no, the sun is coming up, yay! Okay, now you will see there's one glaring problem here. Do you see that side and that side? The reason why they did that is because there was a huge plant growing here, so let's put some plant back here, shall we? Maybe no one will notice. I hate that it doesn't overlap. That bugs me a lot. Will you please? I see that. Covers the whole window. Can we flip you? Yes, we can. Awesome. There is a little bit sticking out there that makes me itch for my garden shears, but it will be fine. So if you don't really pay attention, you won't really see it now. And as far as I know, all the windows are now the right color. They are no longer green. I also put down one of those chalkboards inside, and then I realized we're not in sandbox, and I cannot put a picture on the chalkboard, so I just left it. Alright, so the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the butterflies are not far behind them. Let's find some flowers, shall we? I think mid-sized would be good for this part of the garden. And maybe some roses. I'm not being as particular as I usually. No, let's not go there. Let's go. No, let's go dark red. Yes. I usually turn the bushes around so they don't look all the same. But if you bunch them together enough, you are good. That's pretty. I'm just gonna pop a couple in here and then come back with another color. Hopefully they will all fit. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's pretty. All the shades of reds and dark pinks. Okay. Now this part of the garden, I think I'm going to keep it just as a place where you can't get into. Sorry. So the children can't destroy it. Shame on me. Poor children. There we go. So we have roses all the way around here. I think that's pretty. I would like a tree or a shrub. I know the only small tree is a Christmas tree, so how about, that's quite large. And I just clicked and put it there. Let's move it backwards. Yeah, it fills up a fair portion of the garden. Come on, let me hold you and push you back a bit. Awesome. And do we have a, not really. How big is a lilac? Yes. Awesome. So we have this section mostly filled up. Should we put another lilac on this side? Okay, and then this section we can actually start looking at putting benches, maybe some playground equipment for the kiddies. And we can probably put a table out here, table or two. I know we had two, so maybe something like that. But the one thing I truly do have to change is this. This is frightening. Should we go with, yes, that works nicely with the walls. Oh, I like that. Much better. Not so green. And what have we got in the way of entertainment? Okay, we've got sandbox, we've got a playhouse, we've got slides, seesaws. Okay, climbing wall, swings, and a slide. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to use this driftwood and sticking with what we are looking at inside here. That will work. Absolutely. That will work well, and then we can maybe put a bench here. I don't think the swing is going to work, simply because yeah, the sandbox will be fine there. Under the tree, which is great, and we have benches here. So this would be a great bench to use outside. You can pop it under here. No, the children will probably land on top of you. Can they climb up here? Yes, they can. Look at that. And there's grass to land in. So that'll work. Okay, so that is the start of the outside. I will probably come back and finish it on Wednesday. I'll probably spend a bit of time doing some gardening in here because you know we're going to need it. It's very pretty, but there's patches now, which is irritating. So we'll set up perhaps a central playground here and have some tables sprinkled out, or a picnic area or something like that. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. I think we've accomplished a fair bit. We haven't totally modified it. I have left the one satellite dish on the roof simply because, you know, TV. Got to get your sports in the bar. And I'm going to make I'm going to have to make a flat sign that sort of lists all the fun activities you can find in here. So thank you so much for watching. If you've got this far, please subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.